June is Icons Month at IGN, where we're profiling iconic video game industry figures, characters, series, and themes. Today, we're talking to RPG legend Brian Fargo about kind of founding Blizzard and why RPG fans should be looking forward to Wasteland 3.
So, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you were involved with the founding of Blizzard somehow? I'm very curious to hear that story.
I don't know if I would phrase it exactly that way, but I've known the Blizzard guys since they were high school kids, yeah. and basically we'd go to these things and people would have software and share go to the swap meet and all this kind of stuff. All the people were looking at each other's software, and in fact, one of the programs, the graphic adventure games I did for Activision, Alan Adham, he was Ayman Adham at the time, he was listed as one of the programmers, and he was like 15 years old. But later he went into the military and he came back, and him and then Michael Morhaime, and they said, look, we want to be like Interplay. We want to do what you're doing. Can you help us? And I said, absolutely. And so I gave them their first contracts. Wow. We owned part of Blizzard at the time. They said, thanks for doing that, and we actually had equity in it. And so we gave them their first contracts and sort of started moving them along. And then towards the end, they wanted to become a publisher like us. They wanted to take the same step. As we became a developer, then we became an affiliate publisher technically. And then I remember they were pitching me on the game, and I said, it doesn't matter what the game is. Don't pitch me. It's yours. It's your product. And it was Warcraft. Yeah. And then, of course, Davidson came and bought them during that time and said, that's the last game you're going to do. So wrap that up, and then, boom, you're doing educational software. And actually, we published Warcraft in Europe, and then Davidson handled it in North America. So anyway, so sort of a fun little trivia history there.
Wasteland 3, for gamers that maybe haven't been following it, particularly those who didn't play the old school originals, give me the sort of elevator pitch version of why role-playing gamers are going to want to check out Wasteland 3 when it's out this August.
So one of the things that you hear constantly from the fans of like role-playing games is that the actions they take actually matter in a material way, and that they roll out either instantly or over a period of time. There are multiple endings, and that the world is reacting, like I said, to the things, to what you're saying, to who you're attacking. And this is narratively, this is probably the deepest product I've ever worked on before. I mean, even when I'm going, these things are so deep that when I go through it, because we have the way we put these things together, that no one person knows everything in the game. Like there's too much. And so yeah. I just finished another playthrough last week, and I was able to see some other things that was like, I couldn't believe that they provided for this edge case scenario, and I absolutely loved it. Like this is only a tiny spoiler, but like you can win the game and do like a bloodless coup. I'm not going to tell you how to do it, and it's hard to pull it off, but it can happen. And so that it creates like 5 different ending states. And so and there's sort of, as you run around, when you do things in the world and you get back to the ranger base, everybody's talking about it. And then when you go out in the world, the paper boy's talking about it, the people are talking about it. When you go talk to the next quest giver, he's remarking on what you did, right? And so there's this, like, as that goes on and on and on and on, that's to me when you become fully immersed. And so I think people will appreciate how much effort we put into that, and we've tried very hard to telegraph it. Because one of the problems with, sometimes you can do a great job of it, and you've actually created all these paths, but for you just played it one time and it felt, oh, that was natural, right. But you didn't know there were 40 other ways to do it. And so we try to telegraph more so people understand, I could have done this or that, or if I didn't have that person on my party, I would have missed that whole scene, right? So I think so for people that want a world that's changing based upon their actions, I think they'll appreciate this.
That sounds fantastic. Brian Fargo, thank you so much. You, sir, are an icon, and we look forward to Wasteland 3 in August, and we'll see what your team cooks up in the future. Thank you very much, Brian.
Super. Thanks, Ryan.